Hey everybody, Len Kabasinski here. First off, thank you so much, all my Patreons watching this on patreon.com/killerwolffilms, the very best way to support my works, past, present, future. All my films are on there kind of thing. Lately, I've been doing 4K upscales for them. So stuff like Curse of the Wolf, which just was put up a month or two ago there. Fist of the Vampire, same thing, went up over the summertime in a 4K upscale on Patreon. Only available to see there in the 4K upscales. Down the road, I could see a particular company that put out Pact of Vengeance last year. Last year or two. They're interested in signing some of my older works and putting them out there. So I've been working on 4K upscales, trying to clean them up as best as I can, and we'll get them out to places like Tubi and stuff where, get the films more exposure and things like that. It's been a long time since, Swamp Zombies, was made 20 years ago. Crazy, right? Yeah, made 20 years ago. Swamp Zombies, Curse of the Wolf, Fist of the Vampire. Wendigo Bound by Blood, I heard, was picked up by Tubi. That should be any week now. You'll see that pop up there. And it was a cleaned up version of it and stuff, so I hope it looks, I pray, it looks good on Tubi. But Wendigo Bound by Blood is about to go up any week now on Tubi, so I hope you check it out. But the best place to check it out, patreon.com/killerwolffilms. So thank you so much. But I thought I'd shoot a quick little podcast here. As you see, I don't got my dragon backdrop here and stuff like that. That is because I am moving. So I've lived on the Upper East Side of Erie for the last several years. If you remember, Blood Prism was shot in this house. Parts of Swamp Zombies 2 were shot in this house, kind of thing. So but it was time to upscale, and as my kids get older, get a bigger home, get more space, that kind of stuff. So more news on that to come, but that's why we just got the karate backdrop, as those will be the last things to get packed, as the rest of the house is pretty empty right now. But so more on that, so bear with me. I appreciate it, everybody. But yeah, I'll be moved into my new home less than a month here. So that's kind of what's going on. But that doesn't mean I'm still, that doesn't mean I'm not working on stuff behind the scenes to bring another film or two to your attention. Speaking of, I just got a notice a couple days ago. I was at the Pitt game, the Pitt Cal game down in Pittsburgh, PA there. Pitt University, 6-0, right? So still going. But I was down there and I got a bunch of messages from PB Smooth, independent wrestler, who's working with me on Fear the Crimson Mask. That story, that script. I'm going to have to just take the bull by the horns and finish the last act. A couple other people were interested, but I haven't really heard much, and not much is going on. I got a couple ideas from Matt from the Salty Nerd podcast, so I think I'm going to lean on him a little bit and pick at some of the ideas he tossed at me, and then I'll just finish it up. It really just needs the final act to pick a direction and finish it up, and otherwise the rest of it's pretty much written. Doesn't mean Fear the Crimson Mask will be next, but somebody like who I mentioned, PB Smooth, has done a lot of indie wrestling and things like that. It's got a lot of connections, things like that. So he was sending me, hey, this wrestling company is really excited to have us aboard. We can use their space, and there's a ring and facilities and stuff like that. So Fear the Crimson Mask is gaining some traction now. I mentioned John Thor was interested. I got to work with him on obviously Pact of Vengeance, where he had to shoot all the stuff in Canada because of COVID rules at the time when that was shot a few years back there. So but John Thor is interested. Diamante from Ring of Honor and AEW Wrestling. She's obviously a good fit for a story like this. That's going to be a slasher film set in the world of professional wrestling. So I'm sure I'll be paying phone calls to the Peter Avalons of the world and Diamantes. Like I said, John Thor is interested, and so we'll go from there. I could see a lot of indie wrestlers kind of filling out some spots as well for this. So I'm not saying it'll be next, because it'll be a more complex shoot probably than something like Demoniac, which is still on the table. The last time I got together with Eileen, who was writing it, we talked about maybe the final act, figuring out some options kind of thing, just because I don't know how doable it'll be to shoot and make it look cool. It has to do, I don't want to spoil anything, but we'll get to it. But I'd love to be able to shoot it as it is right now, because the whole thing's written. would require some minimal locations and stuff where I would probably, want to shoot it around here where I'm at near PA, where I've got some theater stage connections and things to get this going, kind of thing. And it's more of a less expansive in terms of cast and crew and stuff shoot than something like Fear the Crimson Mask would be. Obviously, it's not an action picture like Fear the Crimson Mask. I mean, yeah, horror slasher, but it's wrestling. There's going to be action and fights and stuff like that in it. Where Demoniac is not a fight movie kind of thing. So who knows which one I'll shoot first. I'm interested in both. I know they both will happen, but a lot of people have been making a push lately to, send me photos of these facilities and this facility and that facility to try to get Fear the Crimson Mask going. So all in the meantime while I am moving and trying to get out of my house. So and into my new house, which is on 3.5 acres, maybe a cowboy slasher, right? There's a ranch, we've got goats, we're getting a donkey, that kind of stuff. So maybe a cowboy slasher picture is in the future, who knows? But I'm open to that, right? So those are the things that are going on. I mentioned those that are watching on Patreon. Hopefully, you're watching this on Patreon. If you're on my new YouTube channel watching it, please go check out my Patreon. It's consider go check it out. It's $2. $5 tier if you're in continental US and you send me your address, I'll send you out a poster. I'll sign it, that kind of stuff. If you want me to ruin your poster, but those kinds of things. But you got to message me and say, hey, I'm in Illinois and just signed up. Send me a poster. You got it. So. Or my YouTube channel, like I said, if you're not a Patreon person, whatever, at The Real Len K is my new channel. A lot of my podcasts are up now. There's dozens by now probably up on it. So I hope you check it out. But yeah, I mentioned Fear the Crimson Mask and getting sent some photos of some facilities and things like that. I've got to really delve into them because, as I said, they were sent to me while I was at a pit game. So I got to now regroup and get back to work, kind of thing. So yeah, I'll check those out and see. I know there was a facility in Wisconsin, I think, that was interested, a wrestling facility. That looked promising, but then the showers and things like that, they didn't really have a lot of that. So we're mix and matching facilities at that point. We got to have some kind of shower brawl or what I mean? Some kind of shower scene. That's coming in a locker room kind of thing. It's the drill with Killer Wolf Films, right? We're gonna have the TNA, we're gonna have the action, we're gonna have the gore, we're gonna try to put it all together and make a fun movie out of it, kind of thing. And it's Fear the Crimson Mask is very much 80s slasher kind of picture, in my opinion. So, like I said, I just need to get back and write the final piece of it and then see how it all fits in and make it doable. And once that happens, we're off and running. So you'll see us launch an Indiegogo. Really, if I had to say, I'd be looking to launch an Indiegogo for this probably, I'd say probably in March or April. And then it launches for usually 3 months. And then we'd film sometime in the late spring, summertime kind of thing for either film, really. I could see us doing either one. Demoniac a little trickier only because I'll be probably trying to work around whatever the production schedules are for a local theater that I'd want to use and things, and then see where I can go from there. And then you got to have a successful campaign because then you can offer people money and then you get stuff done. So that's what I noticed in Pact of Vengeance. That was the highest budgeted thing I ever did, and people, it's still not a lot of money. You know what I mean? Pact of Vengeance was shot for $35,000 total. And some of that was producer Malia Mann and myself putting in some of our own money into it. But then the bulk of it was like Indiegogo funds and things. So, but that's the highest budget I ever worked with. And it was actually pretty nice to be able to fly to, LA and shoot on a legit hospital, set and things like that. Instead of me trying to go to a local university science center like I did 20 years ago and try to make it look like a science. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it would be nice to have those things. You start paying for locations, then they become more dependable. Imagine that. You have a set number of extras, and then you can pay your extras, and that was a big deal on something like Pact of Vengeance. My extras, I could offer them $60 a day or whatever it was, but everybody showed up. It wasn't like back in the day where I'm trying to do. Go back to even like Hellcat's Revenge or something. Hey, I'm at a strip club. We got free strippers and they'll give us beer. Do you want to come out? And no, I'd get 12 people out or something like that. So, It reminds me of the Red Letter Media story when I was out last time, many years ago now. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been out there. But they talked about shooting Space Cop, and they were like, "Yeah, we went out for a scene at a strip club and free strippers and beer, and like nobody showed up." And that's these guys. They're a lot more popular than me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a struggle to you write a scene and have a ton of extras. It's sometimes kind of difficult to populate that. So. I want to stay away from that kind of ending for something like the wrestling slasher picture. If I'm at an arena at the end of the movie and it's calling for people with their signs, film fears Len, or whatever the signs are going to be, am I really going to be able to get 200 people? I mean, that's a nightmare. I don't even want to think about that. And I know I've already been talked to by my friends. AI's here, Len. You can populate your arena. What's it really going to look like, though? I need an example. I got to see what that would look like. I mean, even on a Len Kabasinski scale of things, right? I want to see what AI would look like if it's going to populate my arena and stuff. I mean, I don't want it to look super silly. You know what I mean? I'm not going for like silly, fun, cool, I'm good with that. But overly silly, maybe not so much kind of thing. But we'll get to that as we develop it. But over the next couple months here, yeah, I'm going to finish up writing the final act of Fear the Crimson Mask. I'd love to keep Demoniac the same as it is now. I just think we need options with the ending, but I really like it the way it is now. I love the ending the way it is now. I just think, man, how are we gonna shoot this? And I'm not gonna ruin anything, but it is a lot of surreal, dreamy kind of things at the end of the picture. And I thought, okay, well, we could do some CGI here and make it look, CGI I think works when it's that surreal kind of trippy type stuff. Then I think, okay, this could work, kind of thing. But we'll see. But that's where we're at, kind of thing. So. Going forward, the next time you see me in a podcast, I will probably be in a new setup. Maybe back to the dragon backdrop. Who knows? Whenever I can get that out of storage. But me and Joe, I'm sure you will see us soon, though, for a Halloween episode of the Forgotten Movie Den. I don't know what we're doing yet, but I'm sure we'll pick something. So stay tuned for that. That's coming later this month. I'm thinking December 1st, I will release the next 4K upscale that we're working on, kind of thing, and check back in for that. There's a couple, but I don't want to announce it yet. I want to make sure everything looks cool and stuff like that. But the next 4K upscale will come December 1st in time for Christmas there. So quick update for everybody. Thank you so much. Again, if you're watching on my YouTube channel, @TheRealNK, please go check it out on my Patreon campaign at patreon.com/KillerWolfFilms. Thank you so much, everybody.